Hello friends, good morning. Welcome in my live videos. Here I'm just going to describe some neat expected questions. Here the first one is, which of the following is wrong for fungi? Option is, they are eukaryotic. All fungi possess a purely cellulosic cell wall. They are heterotrophic. They are both unicellular and multicellular. The option will be the cell wall of the fungi is made up of chitin and polysaccharide. Okay. Here is the methanogens belong to. Methanogens belongs to archaebacteria. Okay. Methanogens, halophiles, and thermoacidophils are archaebacteria. Okay. Here are the statements. Select the wrong statement. I am just reading out a statement. The wall of diatoms are irredestructible. Diatomaceous earth is formed by the cell wall of diatoms. Diatoms are chief producer in the oceans. Diatoms are microscopic and float passively in water. The wrong answer is the wall of diatom are easily destructible. The cell wall of the atoms are embedded with silica and thus the wall are indestructible. Okay, here the next. The level of herbarium sheet does not carry information means option is the data of collection, name of collector, local names and height of the plant. Here the herbarium does not contain height of the plants. Okay. The herbarium sheets carry a label providing information about date and place of collection, English local and botanical names, family collector names, only. Okay. Conifers are adapted to tolerate extreme environmental conditions because of thick cuticles. That means conifers having thick cuticles or tolerate extreme environmental conditions. Okay. Here is which of the following statement is wrong. Here option is 4. Algae increase the level of dissolved oxygen in immediate environment. Algin is obtained from red algae and carrageen from brown algae. Agar, agar is obtained from Xyledium and Gracilaria. And Laminaria and Sargassum are used as food. Here wrong is the algae is obtained from red algae. This is wrong. Algene is obtained from the brown algae and carrageen from red algae. And rest all are also correct. Means algae increase the level of dissolved oxygen in immediate environment. Agar is obtained from Xyledium and Gracilaria. And Laminaria and Sargassum are used as food. Okay. Here is the term polydelphus is related to. Polydelphus related to androsium. Okay, means the stamen may united into one bundle called monodelphous or two bundles called didelphous or into more than two bundles called polydelphous. Okay, radial symmetry is found in the flower of option is Brassica, trifolium, Pisum, cassia. The radial symmetry found in the Brassica. Radial, also called actinomorphic symmetry, is found in flower like mustard, datura, chilies. These are the brassica. Precentral placentation is found in trees central plant situation is found in? Option is dianthus, argemone, brassica, citrus. Answer will be the dianthus. Dianthus primrose, pre-central placenta. Argemone having parietal placentation and citrus agile placentation. Citrus agile placentation is always being asked in the examination. Be careful. Cortex is the region found between cortex is the region found between the epidermis and stele. Okay. The balloon-shaped structure called tylosis. This is a very important question or term tylosis. The balloon-shaped structure called tylosis are extension of xylem parenchyma cells into vessels. Means tylosis are extension of xylem parenchyma cells into vessels. A non-proteinaceous enzyme is ribozyme. Ribozyme is RNA acting like an enzyme or biocatalyst. Okay. Here the list means gas vacuoles found in green bacteria. Protists, protists are eukaryotes. Methanogens are prokaryotes, and large central vacuoles is present in the plant cells. This question is also is being asked so many times. Here is the statements. Bacteria cell wall is made up of peptidoglycan. Sorry, brother. This is correct. Cyanobacteria lack flagellated cells. This is also correct. Mycoplasma is a wall-less microorganism. And pili and fimbriae are surface structure of the bacteria that do not play a role in mortality. Pili and fimbriae is in bacteria for attachment to the surface. Okay. Next is a cell organelle containing hydrolytic enzyme. Means which organelle having hydrolytic enzyme you must know, and you are knowing about this called lysosome. The isolated lysosomal vesicles have been found to be very rich in most all types of hydrolytic enzyme. During cell growth, DNA synthesis takes place in synthesis phase. Answer will be the synthesis phase. Which of the following biomolecule is common to respiration? Mediated breakdown of fat, carbohydrate, and proteins. Means which biomolecule is common for fat, carbohydrate, and protein. Means answer will be the acetyl coenzyme. Acetyl coenzyme is the common biomolecule for fat, carbohydrate, and protein. This is a very important question. Here is the question. Phytochrome is. Phytochrome is option. Just listen. Flavoproteins, lipoproteins, and chromoproteins. The phytochrome is chromoproteins. Phytochrome is blue-green pigment which absorbs red and infrared light. It is colored protein like chromoprotein. Okay, which is essential for the growth of root tip. Means which element is essential for growth of root tip? Answer is the calcium. Calcium is required by the dividing and differentiating cells. The process which makes major difference between C3 and C4 plant is photorespiration. When photorespiration is present in C3 plants but absent in C4 plants. Photorespiration is only takes place in C3 plants and absent in C4 plants. Okay. Which of the following generates new genetic recombinations leading to variation? Option is the vegetative reproduction, parthenogenesis, sexual reproduction, and new cellular polyembryony. Answer will be the sexual reproduction. Means sexual reproduction generates new genetic recombination leading to variation. Okay. Here is a few matching questions. Means syncarpus. In syncarpus, pistils fuse together. Gametogenesis means formation of gamete. Dikaryotic hyphae of ascomycetes. Pistillate flower. Pistillate flower, unisexual female flower, having only pistils. In majority of angiosperms, reductional division occurs in the megaspore. Megaspore mother cells undergo meiosis to form megaspore. Pollination in water hyacinth and water lily is brought about by the agency of insects of wind. Do not confuse with water. Pollination in water hyacinth. Hyacinth is a plant which is upper level of plant's part is above the water surface. So water is not required for pollination. Only insects or bees is responsible for the pollination. The ovule of an angiosperm is technically equivalent to megasporangium. Ovule of angiosperm is technically equivalent to megasporangium. Taylor conducted the experiment to prove semi-conservative mode of chromosome replication on Vicia fava. Taylor conducted an experiment on Vicia fava to prove semi-conservative mode of chromosome replication. The mechanism that causes a gene to move from one linkage group to another is called translocation. Okay, means translocation is a phenomenon of transfer of a gene segment between non-homologous chromosomes, that is, different linkage groups. The equivalent of a structural gene is means equivalent to a structural gene is cistron. Cistron is equivalent to a structural gene. Cistron is segment of DNA coding for a polypeptide. Eukaryotic structural gene is monocistronic, whereas prokaryotic structural gene is polycistronic. Okay, a true breeding plant. A true breeding plant is line. is one that having undergoes continuous self-pollination so that a stable trait inheritance and expression of several generations, it is both homozygous, recessive as well as dominant in genetic constitutions. Which of the following ribosomal RNAs act as structural RNAs as well as ribozyme in bacteria? Answer will be the 23S. Ribosomal RNA is component of large subunit of ribosome and it acts as peptidyl transferase ribozyme. Stirred tank bioreactors. Stirred tank bioreactors have been designed for availability of oxygen throughout the process. Means a stirred tank bioreactor is provided with a stirrer for availability of oxygen throughout the process. Okay. A foreign DNA and plasmid cut by the same restriction in the nucleus can be joined to form a recombinant plasmid using ligase. Ligase is the glue of the biofamilies. In DNA recombination technology, linking of foreign DNA and plasmid is made possible by DNA ligase, which is also called molecular glue. Okay. Which of the following is not component of downstream processing? Option is separation, purification, regeneration, expression. The answer will be the expression. Means after the completion of biosynthesis pathway, downstreaming process includes all the steps involved in isolation, purification, and preservation of product. All the steps before completion of pathway are included in upstream processing, that is expression of genetic material. Which of the following restriction enzyme produced blunt ends? Escherichia coli RV. The Escherichia coli RV cut the DNA in the center of restriction site forming blunt end. The palindromic sequence for Escherichia coli means both are in reverse order. Palindromic sequence. Which kind of therapy was given in 1990 to 4-year-old girl with adenosine deaminase deficiency? Answer is the gene therapy. Gene therapy was given in 1990 to 4-year-old girl child with ADA deficiency. Okay. The primary producers of the deep sea hydrothermal vent ecosystem are chemosynthetic bacteria. Means the primary producers of the deep sea hydrothermal vent ecosystem are archaebacteria. They have chemosynthetic mode of nutrition. Okay, we should know about mutualism, amensalism, commensalism, and parasitism. All option is very important. Questions are being asked by these options. A red list contains data or information on a red list. This is also a very important question. It is asking whether medical entrance examination or all other examination red list data. The International Union Conservation of Nature and Natural Resources or World Conservation Union maintain red list, which is a catalog of threatened species. Means a red list data is a list of threatened species. Cholera is caused by the bacterium vibrio, cholera, and tetanus is caused by the bacterium Clostridium tetani. Okay, here is the statement, only one statement. Cyclostones belong to the division A Ganata. They are jawless vertebrates without paired feet. In male cockroaches, sperms are stored in which part of the reproductive system? Option is seminal vesicles, mushroom glands, testes, mass difference. And so answer will be the seminal vesicles. The sperms are stored in the seminal vesicles. In male cockroach, the sperms are stored in seminal vesicles. Smooth muscles are smooth muscles are involuntary, fusiform, non-striated muscles. Okay. Oxidative phosphorylation is uses energy of oxidation reduction of substrate to generate ATP. Okay. Which of the following is the least likely to be involved in stabilizing the three-dimensional folding of most protein? Histone. Histone is found between sugar and phosphate in a nucleotide. Here is the when cell has stalled DNA replication form, which checkpoint should be predominantly activated? Means G1 and synthesis phase. Checkpoint of cell cycle is a major checkpoint. Means G1 and synthesis phase having checkpoint. Here is the matching question. Means picketing the stage of crossing over, metaphase first, chromosome aligned at the equatorial plate, and dikinesis, terminalization of chiasmata, and zygote, pairing of homologous chromosome. Which hormone do stimulate the production of pancreatic juice and bicarbonate? Which hormone is responsible for pancreatic juice and bicarbonate? Answer will be the cholecytokinin and secretin. Cholecytokinin and secretin both hormone increase the secretion of pancreatic juice. The partial pressure of oxygen in a alveoli of lung is more than that of the blood. Means partial pressure of oxygen in alveoli of lung is 104 millimeter of Hg. That is more than that of blood in pulmonary artery having 40 millimeter of Hg. Graves disease is caused due to. This is the very important question. Graves disease. Graves disease caused due to the hypersecretion of thyroid gland. Graves disease due to the hypersecretion of thyroid gland. Name the ion responsible for the unmasking of active sites of myosin for cross-bridge activity during muscle contraction. Calcium ion bind with TPC unit of troponin, which is responsible for unmasking of active sites for myosin for cross-bridge activity during muscle contraction. Here is the question. Name the blood cell whose reduction in number can cause clotting disorder, leading to excessive loss of blood from the body. Option is erythrocyte, leukocyte, neutrophil, thrombocytes. Answer will be the thrombocytes. Reduction in thrombocytes means platelets can cause clotting disorder, leading to excessive loss of blood from the body. Name a peptide hormone which acts mainly on hepatocytes, adipocytes, and enhance cellular glucose uptake and utilization. Answer will be the insulin. Insulin is a peptide hormone which acts mainly on hepatocytes, adipocytes, and enhances cellular glucose uptake and utilization so it decreases the blood glucose level. Osteoporosis, an age-related disease of the skeletal system, may occur due to accumulation of uric acid leading to inflammation of joints. This is not correct. Decreased level of estrogen. Osteoporosis is caused due to the decreased level of estrogen. Osteoporosis in aged female after menopause is due to decreased level of estrogen. Serum differs from blood. Means what is difference between serum and blood? Serum don't have clotting factors. Means serum lacking clotting factors. Serum is plasma without clotting factors. It never clots. Question is also asked which of the following is never clots. Answer will be the serum. Means serum never clots. Question is the posterior pituitary gland is not a true endocrine gland because means posterior part of the pituitary gland is not endocrine gland because it only stores and releases the hormone. Means posterior pituitary gland is not a true endocrine gland because it only stores and releases hormones. Health questions. The part of nephron involved in active reabsorption of sodium. Mean, so reabsorption of sodium takes place in proximal convoluted tubule. Means proximal convoluted tubules is involved in active reabsorption of sodium. Okay. Which of the following is hormone releasing uterine device? LNG20, LNG, leveno, levonorgestrel 20 is a hormone releasing uterine device. LNG20. Remember it, LNG20. In Which of the following is incorrect regarding vasectomy? In vasectomy, a sperm occurring epididymis. In this, vas declares are cut, so sperms are not present in semen. In vasectomy means vas differentia is cut and tied by this irreversible sterility. No sperms occur in seminal fluid due to vasectomy. Embryo with more than 16 blastomeres formed due to in vitro fertilization is transferred into uterus. In intrauterine transfer (IUT), embryo more than 8 blastomeres formed due to in vitro fertilization is transferred into uterus. Okay, here is the correct pathway of transport of a sperm. Means how a sperm travels. What is the route for the sperms? The pathway of transport of a sperm in human male is retained testis. From there, efferent vacuoles means vas differentia, then going to epididymis, then vas differences. Here are a few matching options. Is mons pubis. Mons pubis is female external genitalia. Enteropenile to graphene follicle. Trophoectoderm. Embryo formation. Level kernel related to sperm. Certain hormone like HCG, HPL, estrogen, progesterone are produced by placenta. All these hormones are produced by placenta. In every exam related to placenta, one question is being asked. Hormones secreted by placenta are HCG, human chorionic, HPL, estrogen, and progesterone. Genetic drift operating means genetic drift operates in a small isolated population. Means genetic drift operates in a small isolated inbreeding population. The DNA-dependent RNA polymerase. DNA-dependent RNA polymerase catalyzes transcription on one strand of the DNA, which is called the template strand. Okay, remind the term template strand. Here is the HIV-related question. Causative agent of AIDS is HIV, which is enveloped virus that contain two identical molecules of single-stranded RNA and two molecules of reverse transcriptase, which fish having a rich source of omega-3 fatty acid. Means mackerel fish having a rich source of omega-3 fatty mackerel. Okay, mackerel is a marine fish having rich source of omega-3 fatty acid. This question is also being asked. Here is the Bacillus asparaginus niger. This is related to citric acid. Trichoderma polyesporum. This is related to cyclosporin A. Monascus purpureus. This is related to statin. This question is very common. It lowers the cholesterol. Clostridium butylicum related to butyric acid. Here the biochemical oxygen demand may not be a good index for population for water body receiving nutrient from petroleum industry. Biochemical oxygen demand is not good index for population for water body receiving effluents from petroleum industry as the generated waste is mostly non-biodegradable in nature. Okay. The principle of competitive exclusion was stated by principle of competitive exclusion was stated by G.F. Gauss. The principle of competitive exclusion was stated by G.F. Gauss. Okay, all these are very important. Which of the following national park is home for the famous musk deer or hangul? The conservation of musk deer of hangul is Dachigam National Park of Jammu and Kashmir. Means musk deer protected in Dachigam National Park, Jammu and Kashmir. Remind it. Dachigam National Park. A lake which is rich in organic waste may result in mortality of fish due to lack of oxygen. Means microorganisms involved in biodegradation of organic matter consume most oxygen. As a result, there is a sharp decline in oxygen, causing mortality of fish and other aquatic creatures. Okay. Here is a question related to DDT. The maximum DDT concentration occurs in fish eating bird like seagull due to biomagnification. This happens because a toxic substance accumulated by an organism cannot be metabolized or excreted, thus pass to higher trophic level. Okay, thank you for your patience, and I will again come to you for your betterment. Okay, thanks.